right, so these are some dumb kids who I yelled at in the movie theater because you guys play, what's it called? Freddy Got Fingered? What's it called?
Yeah. He liked it.
Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's, right? And was the movie like the game?
Yes.
It was like one.
Really?
It was almost 1-to-1.
It's like one of the levels.
What the fuck? That was so stupid.
Dude,
The same lines, like word for word.
That was
I mean, the
kind of like
script
level
was cool.
5.
Straight.
So you guys, is it like a game you have to pay to play?
Yeah, it's like every level you have to pay to get to like the next level.
Yeah.
If this is true, I hate your generation even more now.
Yeah. You're just mad we have more money.
Because it's fun, so we want to pay to like get to the next level.
And then we have to pay to come see what we already did.
Yeah.
As I said, I didn't pay to see this movie, so
It's like if someone cool made Mario.
this is why I don't play video games. This is why I don't talk to people who are under 35. Do you think your parents are proud of you?
No.
So what you just saw in the beginning of this video was a look at the modern American male. And this is the reason that it's unfortunate that COVID only took out the older people.
Yeah.
All right, so we just saw Freddy Got Fingered. No,
Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. What was the other one? That's JD's Revenge. That's not Freddy's Dead. That's something different.
No, we just saw 5 years of Freddy.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah.
It was.
So Lana and Dave took me out for my birthday. And we went to go see Five Nights at Freddy's, which I knew was based on a video game.
I thought it was just books. I didn't know it was.
Yeah, and all I knew about it was that the dude who created it was a fundamentalist Christian.
Yeah.
And he made like a book about like the Bible, or he made a game about the Bible, and then out of nowhere he made this. And this is based on like the Rockefeller Pizza guys, like the
Showbiz Pizza.
Showbiz Pizza Bear and Chuck E. Cheese. They've already made 2 movies. They made the Banana Splits movie, and they made Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. So I guess they were like, fuck, somebody beat us to it. We better just rush out a giant piece of shit. This was terrible.
This was like,
It was a tad slow.
I'm going to say the Bye Bye Man looks like a masterpiece compared to.
And Wish Upon.
And Wish
I thought about Wish Upon.
I like
Wish Upon. I
Wish
actually
Upon.
enjoyed Wish Upon, not gonna lie. But yeah, this was a piece
Get
of
out of
shit.
my rental car.
And I kept falling asleep because our dog kept us up last night.
Yeah, at one point during the
I'm so
movie, Lana's
tired,
just
I'm
next to me snoring, and Dave and I just look at each other.
I'm not going to wake her. She's not missing nothing.
No, not at all. Nothing happens.
But then I kept waking up because there was these really obnoxious, loud jump scares like every 5 seconds. And I'm like, what happened to like genuine scare? It just every 5 seconds.
But I think that's what the game is too. I think the game is just jump scares.
It hurts my ears. I'm like, God, that's not.
But they weren't even good jump scares. It wasn't even like.
No, they weren't. I love a good jump scare, but this was just loud noise jump scare every fucking.
They were so bad,
moment.
I didn't fall for, like, not one of them got me. And I'm like the biggest wuss with
Oh, are
jump
you
scares.
yeah.
Yeah, like every jump scare. Like every time I see Jaws, every freaking time.
The head.
When the head,
Yeah.
when the head comes up, I'm like, ah! Even though I've seen it like 1,000 times.
Yeah, Ben Gardner's head. So again, as we interviewed those people, because what happened was at the end of the movie, the credits were done, and I stood up, and there was a group of those kids that we were talking to, and I was like, is this what the game is like? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, you're all stupid, and I hate your generation, and we need another Vietnam. And then after I left to go to the bathroom, what did you say to them?
I said, I'm sorry, that's my dad. So he gets like this. But then it was funny because this one girl, she's like, why are you here? Why are you saying it? And Newt's like, I didn't pay to see it. And I'm like, what are you fucking paid to see it for you?
That's my new con.
And then,
is that...
and then it was funny because he's like, and I'm a film critic. I review movies. Like, I'm like, when you can pull out a badge and be like,
Well, because they were like, what do you know? And I was just like, oh, yeah, I was that guy. I'm very famous. I don't know if you guys know how famous I am.
I just want to say my hands look like this so that Newt can see movies like this.
But then we talked to them more outside, and like I was making fun of that kid pretty hard. And
the kid was a good sport. I don't
was
think he knew he was being made fun of.
they never do.
It was like borderline where like, is he joking with you or is he
I couldn't tell.
actually something
Like
wrong
I
with
genuinely
him?
couldn't tell if because I was like, Because there was like 2 girls with them too, and I was like, is it like a Make-A-Wish thing? Like, are you dying?
And then the kid was saying that his dad wants him to watch The Godfather, and he's like, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll watch it 6 times before I watch
and they signed up for
Godfather.
Peacock.
Like, really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're like, we all bought it together. Like, they all went in and bought like a $6.99 subscription to Peacock.
It's like
together.
they've entered into a tontine. The last one alive gets to keep the Peacock subscription. You know it's gonna be the fucking Eraserhead looking one.
And Peacock's the one that just has Mama's Family reruns, right?
I love Mama's Family.
I love Mama's Family, so I'll watch Peacock.
All right.
I got Peacock.
We'll get Peacock then.
Because when they were doing
let's just go beat those fucking kids up. That's like fishing with dynamite.
Hey, little boy, I'm here for your Peacock.
I did subscribe to Peacock just so I could watch Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I love Halloween Kills, so I wanted to watch that a few more times.
No, we'll tell them.
Had some other things on there.
We'll tell them
there's a John Wayne Gacy documentary.
Okay, but we'll tell them, we're like, hey, if you give us your subscription, we'll tell you about a secret that's on the desk in the 12th scene. And he'll be like, oh, well.
Yeah, and then this Jason Dumb, whatever the fuck his name is.
Blumhouse?
The guy doesn't wear socks.
Oh.
I guess he sold his soul to like the Peacock Devil, because now, even though it's 2023, he's still streaming at the same time something's in the theater. I'm like, COVID's over.
Yeah.
Just fucking move on. It's done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this shit. Just move on. So I don't know why he's screwing himself with, because even though this is a bad movie, it's got quite a following. And the guy, our friend Anthony, who's the bartender there, he said that they sold a lot of tickets. And he's probably going to do really well.
The earlier show
probably would have done better, you know.
Because we went to meet at a restaurant, but I came here because I'm just so Pavlov's dog. And I came here, and the fucking parking lot was jam packed at 7, and there was all these people wearing the what's it, Michael Fassbender? What's the bear's name?
Freddy
Fazbear.
That was a weird name too.
Yeah. So basically, the game is like Ghosts in Chuck E. Cheese, guys. Yeah. And then you're like working overnight, and I guess you're like watching security cameras, and then shit jumps out at you. So it's like what was that game with Dana Plato that was on the Sega
Night
CD?
Trap.
Night Trap.
I fucking love Night Trap.
That's a good game.
Dana Plato, whose autism was cured by Reagan in The Exorcist 2. Then Howard Stern made fun of her and she killed herself.
Yeah, that was a whole.
Yikes.
That was horrible.
Way to bring the conversation down, Lana. Yeah, but then the movie is like, I'm with it in the beginning. Oh, okay, the kid from the Hunger Games that isn't Anthony Jr.
The kid from the Hunger Games who isn't the hot one.
Yeah, but he's also not Anthony.
Pita.
What's his name?
His name was in the movie was Pitta.
Pitta?
Pitta.
Pita bread.
My name's Pitta.
At first, when I saw the Hunger Games, I was like, oh, that's Anthony Jr. from The Sopranos.
There was some guy from The Onion who used to do these like reviews or parodies. They were like serious reviews, but then he would say crazy, messed up shit.
Does he also tell people he's a movie reviewer?
Yeah, he pulls out his badge. He's like Columbo, and he's like...
I mean, for my birthday, one of my gay friends also sent me a card that says I can use I could say faggot, and I have a faggot pass, so I've used it twice now. Okay. Third one, I get a free...
We're getting canceled.
Yeah. No, I was told I could. I'm not going to say it like...
It's going to mess up the algorithm.
I work with this girl. I love her to death. She's so cool, and she's a lesbian. It was really funny because at the restaurant we work at, there was a table with this guy and his girlfriend. They were just acting weird, and she had to serve them. And she went over, got their order, and came back, and she's like, "They're at the table, and they're videotaping each other doing some really gay shit." And she goes, "And I can say that."
Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, Michael. Oh, there's something I was going to say. I'll come back to it.
Okay.
I forget what it was.
So Pita Bread.
The Onion guy. So he did a whole thing about Hunger Games, and he starts off being real serious, and then he goes, "I don't know why." It was Liam Neeson's brother who was the hot guy.
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't know why she wasn't dating him. Why the hell wasn't she dating him? He looks so good with his shirt on." He just goes on this whole thing about how he's much hotter than this guy.
Well, it's like the Twilight guys too. Like the werewolf boy was much more.
Oh, he was way better looking.
And part Native American too, so he has beautiful cheekbones. And the other guy is just Robert Pattinson.
Well, don't feel bad. He's going to fuck that baby later in the Twilight.
That's true. He does fuck a baby. That was so weird.
Yeah, the whole thing was weird.
The fucking and the CGI face on the baby. It looked like remember those angry orange things that used to be on YouTube?
Yeah,
that's what the baby looked like.
I'm the annoying orange.
So Pita Bread's brother was kidnapped. And now he's raising his sister, but you thought it was his daughter, and he's Paul Blart Mall Cop, but he beats up a guy who he thinks is kidnapping a kid. So he goes to see Shaggy, who is a job coach. He's like PA Career Link.
And he looks
Spoilers,
so old
by the
now.
way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, we're old. Matthew
that's the
Lillard
hard
looks
part.
old.
And he's like, oh, I can't. Peter's like, I can't work night shifts because I got to take care of my sister. And then there's like, what's the girl's name? Max or Amber?
the babysitter.
Yeah.
I just called her babysitter.
Babysitter,
She wasn't
okay.
even worth remembering.
No, she's watching him, and you think that they're going to be like a love interest. So he gets the job at Five Nights at Freddy's. Is it called Five Nights, or is it just called Freddy's?
Freddy Fazbear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because he's 5 nights there. Because when I got up to go to the bathroom, you're like, what night are we on?
Yeah.
It should have been like the
We're still on
Amityville.
the second night.
It should have been like in the Amityville Horror where it says day 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been more
We have the
interesting.
Stanley Kubrick Wednesday.
Yes, exactly.
With the
You
big
know?
musical.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I mean, I did like the romantic song, Secrets That You Keep, in this one.
I wanted this one to be. There was this movie I love, Last Shift, which I'm sure a lot.
Yeah.
Of
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah.
this to be like more
Yeah.
like maybe a teen version of Last
Mhm.
Shift or something would have been cool, but no, we couldn't have.
But
this.
then, like, right away, we see the animatronics coming alive. It does not take very long. There's not really a lot of build up to it.
no.
No.
And then, like, they all of a sudden are like his sister's friends.
Mm.
And they're like dancing, and then there's a cop who's just overly nice who shows up, and you're like, all right, something's weird about this. And then
She's got dark secrets, and
Yeah.
And then you also know, it's like right away I knew that something was up with fucking Shaggy, because like he's like in Halloween Kills, where they probably had Jamie Lee Curtis for one day, so they shot all of her scenes in one day. You know, it's like you had Cameron Mitchell in a movie, you just try to spread it out. Or Fred Olin Ray said he had Sybil Danning for an afternoon, so he would just rush people there so they could have her in the
Yep.
entire movie, you know? Yeah, and then they're alive, and then they're friendly, but then he's doing like dream therapy,
Yeah.
and then fucking nothing happens.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of nothing in this movie. And
just
you were,
loud noises.
and it took 8 years for this to get made.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the
Which is
perfect script.
Ridiculous. What?
Yeah, Matthew Lillard grew old waiting on this.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
He was
Mhm.
good to go. He was young and spry when they started.
Right? Yeah, because they made the other 2 movies, and this is Blumhouse too. They've got some fucking cachet, you know, and I don't understand, because you could have made an awesome movie,
They've been
even knowing
putting out
fucking
some dogs though over the past few years.
yeah, Fantasy Island.
Oh shit!
But like, oh, go ahead.
I think like A24 kind of stole their thunder, although they're
Yeah.
starting to get like putting out some dogs.
I just want to say that I know this is a stupid thing to pick on, but like the cupcake,
Yeah.
like it never moved.
Yeah,
They would always like cut away and cut back, and it was different, or like the light would just go out. And it was like, but then at the end of the credits, it said like cupcake puppeteer. I'm like, that puppet never
never
fucking
did anything.
moved.
Its eyes moved and its mouth. I thought it would be kind of cool if you ever see Zombie 3? Where like the zombie is like in a cabinet and it comes and it's inside the mouth camera coming at the guy,
yeah.
or even they did that in Cemetery Man,
yes.
with the girl coming out of the TV. Something happened. It was shot so flat. I liked the use of the colors. I thought the score was okay, but like, if you have a huge IP like this, did they think this was going to be the thing, or were they just shitting it out because 2 people already beat them to it? Because I think this is a good way to kill a fucking franchise. But this is from us who know nothing about the game. You got these fucking idiots out here.
They
I mean,
loved
very
it.
nice
Great.
We're
people.
gonna go
liked
home and
it.
watch it on Peacock now, and I was like, really? All right.
Sounds like a hot date night to me.
The suits looked cool when they were stationary. They were done by the Jim Henson Company. But it was rated R, and there was no reason for it to be rated
I'm
R.
shocked that it was rated, because
Yeah.
I thought it was like a kiddie type. So I'm kind of shocked it was rated R.
There's a girl
You're
who's...
positive it's rated
Yeah,
R. That's
yep.
fucking crazy.
They said asshole once. That's why.
Dave's
say
like,
that in
Dave's like, I
PG-13.
didn't see one tit.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
rated
didn't.
R.
There's no tits in this
Yeah, the
movie.
cop girl could have had a tit out, you know? Bless you. The bird thing could have had a tit out.
Yeah, just a bird
Bless
tit.
you. Could have been a titmouse. That's the type of bird.
This movie was not very empowering to furries.
No, not at all. Do you think there'll be a furry backlash
Yeah.
of this?
Yeah.
They're appropriating the furry culture.
We are not killers.
We have-
slow, boring killers. We're
we've-
exciting killers.
We've reached Duke Doberman for comment. Do you know who Duke Doberman is? Oh my God. So Duke Doberman is a a furry that they used to put on the TV all the time at Screenwave when they should have been working. And it's this dude as a Doberman pinscher, but he's wearing like suspenders and hot pants and like fucking grinding on shit all the time.
God.
So I said if I stayed there long enough, when they moved into the new business to fuck with the people in the town, we would have hired Duke Doberman. I would just walked him down the street, and act like it's nothing.
He sounds like the furry in The Shining.
Yeah.
The way
A little bit, yeah, except like far more sexual.
I told you my
We should
furry
get Duke
story,
Doberman
right?
to replace our dog. At least he'd let us fucking sleep
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah, right. Our dog just won't sleep. But we years ago I worked at Halloween Adventure and this woman came in and she wanted to try on a cowardly lion costume from Wizard of Oz. And my horrible job there was to stand by the dressing room, make sure nobody stole anything. So I'm standing there forever. She was in there for 45 fucking minutes. Finally comes out and hands me the costume. She goes, I think I already have one of these at home, but I'm going to go check, and if I don't, I'll be back. And I'm like, how would you not fucking know? You should know, right? So she was in there like probably doing weird shit in that costume. So I got minimum wage for that too.
I don't know. Again, I'm not going to fucking kink shame anybody. I just simply do not understand the furry thing. Like, and all they do is fuck there. Matt showed me videos. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, again, it's like people go to anime conventions and shit, like video game conventions, and they get fucking crazy because they have no social cues outside of there. So in that one weekend, they're like, I'm going to do everything I didn't do for the last 20 years all in one night, you know?
And just getting the movie started, there were like 20 minutes. I thought we were getting 20 minutes of trailers, and 20 minutes of just commercials, like Wendy's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All this shit. And then we finally got a couple shitty trailers.
And all the commercials were like kid stuff commercials, which is
Yeah.
weird because it's a rated R movie.
Except
No,
for
it's not rated R.
except for the same Allstate commercial that played back to back.
And then they have the new roller coaster with the trolls in it.
Yeah.
Like, you're watching the trolls, and I keep thinking Justin Timberlake, if you've been following the news, like him pretending to be black and then getting ridiculed for that.
And then getting the other troll pregnant and telling her she has to get an
It's like, you
abortion.
take some
A troll
pills.
abortion.
We're going to do it at home, be real quiet.
The troll's gonna be dancing with knives. You just because we were having a conversation the other night and people were like, "Oh, you think that we owe her dad an apology?" I was like, "Look at her fucking eyes, dude. Something's not right there. Something's not right there." But good for Britney, bitch.
I think that's the whole family.
Are they're releasing? I think we talked about it before. They're re-releasing Crossroads into theaters.
Yes, I know. I wish
Nice.
we could have seen that.
That came out like the same day as Jeepers Creepers.
Yes.
And that was an easy pick because I'll never watch anything that fucking Victor Salva made because he's a pedophile.
Right.
So yeah, I sat through.
Although I do love Roman Polanski movies, I'm not gonna lie.
It's enough time has
Sorry.
passed.
Yeah. Well, they made up. She flew over to France.
Oh, really?
And they have pictures like hugging each other.
She's like, I'm safe now. I'm old.
Yeah, well,
That's true. He's like far past your expiration date now. Expiration date.
Just for that whole thing, just go to the internet, do all the research. And
Well, it's the same thing with like
but
Woody
I
Allen.
do love his movies.
Yeah.
I love his movies. Well, not so much his new ones. I loved his 70s shit and his 80s stuff, and then I kind of fell off. But,
because they all become kind of the same thing after a
Yeah.
while. His films are like
But
that neuroticism.
the 70s and 80s, like Crimes and Misdemeanors, was fucking
Yeah.
brilliant.
But you know what wasn't brilliant?
What?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And again, people are going to point out like, oh, actually it was like the game and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. If I don't, I'll go see a movie and I won't know the source material. And if I'm entertained by the material, I will explore that thing.
See, I want somebody to make a Night Trap movie.
Yes.
I would watch that, yeah.
I want to play the lead. I want to be like an old woman trying to fit in with a teenager.
Hey, kids.
Yeah.
Just be a teenager and never acknowledge that
You have a
you're
backwards hat on holding a skateboard.
Hello, fellow children.
Or like they do at Tobin Bell in that one Saw movie. They give him a backwards baseball cap and it's like, no, this isn't... Or like in Batman Begins, they just give Christian Bale bangs and they go, oh, he's younger now.
Fooled me.
Yeah, I don't know. The look of the suits was cool. There's definitely a cool movie in the material that they have there. This was not it. This was a shit out rush job.
Yeah.
And when you get to the big reveal at the end that Matthew Lillard is actually do you know who Chris Chan is?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think I did.
I spend more time on the internet than you, apparently.
God.
Yeah, you do, dude.
Look up Chris Chan. That's a whole fucking
that's-
thing.
I'll tell
He
you
got
about
released
it.
from prison recently because he had sex with his mom.
Ew.
Yeah,
She had dementia.
Was she hot?
No, she's not hot. Trust me.
I thought it was grandma and she had dementia.
No. Oh, I gotta turn the light back on. Hold on.
Spooky.
It's a haunted.
spooky.
His car is haunted.
Well, I have a rental car because my car's being worked on. Yeah, but the drawing and the yellow rabbit reminded me of Sonichu or whatever his thing is called.
Yeah.
He created like a character that combines Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu. And the dude's like, he's the most documented person in the history of the internet, but he's a fucking crazy person.
Wow.
And then it's like when one of those things where when he does something like fuck his mom, like you guys have created a monster, then you all grasp your pearls when the monster does monster shit. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Right.
It's like school shooters and shit like that. Oh, it's like, oh, I wonder why they did that. Who'da thunk it? Is Marilyn Manson still around? Can we blame him? You know?
Right.
They should blame the fourth Matrix movie for making people do that because they're like, that movie was fucking terrible.
I didn't even say it.
Oh, it's bad. It's
I
bad.
skipped that because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to kill anyone.
Well, if you're on Hulu, what's it called? Peacock Plus?
Peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock.
You know how they have the LGBTQ plus, and I always think it's like a subscription service. It's like Disney Plus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm sure people are gonna complain that we didn't go in knowing the fucking source material and
But my thing is, and I had an argument with some weirdo I worked with years ago about the Pokemon movie, the one from back in the day,
Yeah.
where I was like, yeah, it was a terrible fucking movie. And he's
well,
like,
the one
he's
with,
like, how dare you? You don't know anything about. And I'm like, okay, but here's my thing, and that's fine. You know, you can have your movie and make you happy. I don't care. I don't really.
But
care.
it was terrible.
But it was terrible. But I watched it when I was stoned and I couldn't get it. My thing is, I think you should at least attempt to make the movie somewhat
relatable.
Relatable.
The X-Files
So,
movie
yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like even though Dave he's a big Star Trek fan, always watched all, you know, the old TV show, all of them. Now, when I was a kid, I saw some of them. I didn't see all of them, but I still was able to go and enjoy Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Because it was able to set up the story well enough
Which is
where
what you want, right?
I got sucked into it. So you have to kind of, you know, unless you don't want to make money, you don't want.
No, but obviously this is so. It's one of those things now where I don't understand anymore that people will just they know that they could shit out anything because they know that there's an audience for it and they're gonna lap this shit up. And I don't get it. If you're gonna then rate it PG fucking 13 and go from there, man. All the gore could have been in shadow.
There could have been some good gore. In
Yeah,
that.
instead they just did nothing with this. You could have had when the girl gets her head bitten off. They don't even show it, and like they only had one group of people who went in to rob the place, so you could have some extra bodies in it. It's like the two leather boys in Friday the 13th Part 5. You know, they're just like, oh, we need 2 more characters. I don't know, just give them these leather boys.
The wild one.
Yeah, they were coming from they were coming from
right with Marlon Brando.
Yeah, they were coming from a set of cruising.
I would like to know how they came up with rated R on this. I feel like, did they piss someone off? Like, fuck you, we don't have
My assumption was it's rated R because they put the Dora the Explorer girl. Didn't the little girl look like Dora the Explorer?
Yeah, she did.
They put her in peril.
Maybe. I'm
Does anybody smoke in it?
Even that, they were very delicate with.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's got the
I'm gonna do some research.
Elastica has a song in it.
Oh, you're right. Someone did smoke. Oh my
Oh,
god,
there
that's
you go.
right. The ant smoked.
Oh yeah, you're
She
right.
smoked at the diner.
Fucking single white female. She's in.
Did Hoobastank have a song?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I forgot all about that too.
Letters from
That's
Cleo.
why it's rated R.
I like Letter.
Smokes.
I know, I like Letter
that,
from Here and Now.
Josie and the Pussycats.
That movie was great.
Yeah, so she did the Sang K.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Rachel Lee Cook?
She was in Spirit Halloween, the movie Spirit.
Oh
Halloween.
yeah,
really?
she was.
You watched it with me, don't remember?
But I don't remember her being in it. All I remember is
She
Christopher
was the
Lloyd.
mom. Oh yeah, and Christopher Lloyd. And
That movie
the
scared the shit out of me.
yeah, and the movie had a serious racial undertone to it too. Where you're like, I
A little
don't
bit.
know if that's the way we want to do this Spirit Halloween, and they're making a sequel.
It was better than this movie.
I would say The Exorcist was better than this too.
entertained. No, I actually like this better than the
Oh, you did?
Exorcist. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at least I liked the first 20 minutes of this. You know, because honestly, the beginning kind of was interesting. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's this going? And then it went nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
But Exorcist the Believer, the whole time, I was just like, this isn't... I kind of knew from the get-go, this isn't going anywhere. You know?
Well, between the three, I'm going with Spirit Halloween.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I agree with you.
That was better
I
than
saw that
deserved
one
to
for
be.
free too.
Yeah, better than
I
deserved
got
to
the
be.
bad movie hat trick. But yeah, I guess if you're a fan of this series, let me know what you thought of this thing. It was just watching money burn on
Yeah.
screen. This actually looked like the movie that would go direct to streaming.
I think I'm gonna go now that I've seen the movie. I'm gonna go play all the games, and then I'm gonna go online and bitch about all
and
the
read
shit
the
they got
books.
wrong.
Yeah, and then apparently the one normal looking one of those kids said that well, though he was wearing a Shrek shirt, so maybe I retract that statement. He said that one of the games isn't canon. And I'm just like, I wish that you would shoot me out of a cannon right now to get away from this conversation.
You know what I miss? When one of those Shrek movies came out, they had gigantic M&Ms, which
Yeah.
I loved, and I wish M&M would put them out again.
Oh.
Some
So can I take a moment to talk about PETA?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
He was PETA in the Hunger Games, which is awful movies. But he was in a TV show called Future Man,
Okay.
which nobody saw but me. But it's the fucking best
Oh,
show.
he was also in Bridge to Terabithia, where the girl dies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a book, kid's book.
So despite being this obscure guy, like he's done stuff. But like Future Man, I can't recommend enough. It's on Hulu, and it's like they go back in time to stop the apocalypse, but every fucking thing they do makes it worse because they go back to the future and it's fucking worse. And at one point he goes back in time and he goes back to the present, and like his dad, who was Ed Begley Jr., is now like seriously hates minorities.
Jesus Christ.
Which is played by Ed Begley Jr.,
Yeah.
which makes it way
Yeah.
funnier.
Does he racist in his electric car?
Yes. Great. It's just the craziest show, so I highly recommend it on Hulu.
Wasn't he the guy with alopecia on Arrested Development? He had no hair.
I never really got to
Oh, really? And his daughter
heard
was
it's
Ben
good, though.
Stiller's.
I was aware of it.
Yeah, his daughter was Ben Stiller's wife in real life, or could have
Oh,
used to be,
shit.
or something.
Okay.
Yeah, No, you know what that just reminded me of? Did you ever see the alternate ending to The Butterfly Effect?
No, I've never even seen the Butterfly Effect, believe it or not.
The Ashton Kutcher movie, The Butterfly Effect, he keeps like having like brain seizures, and he keeps going back in time to alternate timelines to see how he could change things. And at the end, he realizes that he's been the problem the entire time. So in the deleted ending, he goes back to himself in the womb and strangles himself with his own umbilical cord.
Are you fucking
And that's how the
serious?
movie ends. And I was like, that'd have been awesome in the
God.
theater.
Oh my god.
Well, I saw the ending where he didn't write a letter of recommendation for
A rapist, yeah. Yeah.
And he lived happily ever after.
Him and his wife, like, guys, just keep your mouth shut. Don't. If you want to be friends with a piece of shit, I've been friends with a lot of pieces of shit. Okay,
Hey.
you know, hey, right? You do it on the DL. You know, you're like, you don't let people know that you associate with those kind of people. But I'm smarter now. Actually, no, just none of those pieces of shit talk to me anymore, so I don't have to worry about hiding it anymore. But yeah, no, like if you want to defend those kind of people. Do it on the slide, you know.
Well, I can understand they had a friendship with him for years and years. So even if he's a criminal or whatever, I can understand like being having that attachment.
Yeah.
I get that, but like you said, they should have done it quietly
Like
or
just
Or
spend
go-
some money to get him a good lawyer.
Yeah, or go like, hey, I didn't know this guy that way.
right.
I don't think in his heart he's a bad person. He's made mistakes and he needs to
Right.
atone
'Cause
for
they
those
weren't
mistakes.
asking to have him released. They were just saying something about serving his
Yeah.
sentences back to back. So it wasn't like they were like, let him out of jail. And I understand because they were friends. I get it. I'm not saying I condone anything.
Yeah.
Don't come at me. But I guess they didn't know the judge was going to be made public or something. I don't know. But I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Just,
but like
the
he's
whole
another
thing-
one
the
that
whole
like
thing's a-
Scientology was like hiding all that shit for a really long time.
It has to be really bad where they stopped covering for him.
Yeah.
Like, that's how bad it was. When Scientologists don't cover
When
you.
when your science fiction god goes, this is a bridge too far for me.
Right.
He jumps back into the volcano that they believe released all the alien
Yeah,
ghosts, you know?
Because I just like when I used to work at Barnes & Noble, people would come in and
Yeah.
have to mail books to their relatives in prison. And I'm not condoning, but there are people who still care about these people who did horrible things. So I'm not, but it was just the way they did it. And then they did that film in front of that apology in front of the wall.
Yeah,
Oh
where they weren't
my
wearing like
God,
makeup and stuff like that. And
we're
I'm like,
serious. We
oh
really
my
mean
God.
it.
And that's the same thing with like Drew Barrymore. It's like Drew Barrymore, all you had to do was wait one more fucking week.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
She was, because it reminded me of the ending of The Mist.
Yeah,
You know? If she just waited, she wouldn't have had to shoot her son in the face. Like, okay, so you guys got me a birthday gift.
Yes. So Newt's birthday was earlier this week, so we got him a little something, something.
Okay. Should I open the card
Yes.
first? Okay.
Now, show him the wrapping. Oh, you good?
Oh, it's Paw Patrol
but it
wrapping.
doesn't have the new non-binary Paw Patrol.
Oh,
character
good.
on
All
it.
right. Yeah.
That's the one with
Wait, there's
nuts
a-
or without nuts.
There's a non-binary. Do you remember?
Apparently, in the new movie, there's like I think non-binary or something. They added.
It's
something.
a dog.
I know.
It's a talking
I know.
dog. Just like I was telling you when we were eating dinner, they've added a thing now to the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street where it warns you that there's disfigured people. Look, I get it, man. I get representation, but fucking stop. Like, let's be serious about shit, because people who are actually facing issues are like, this isn't what we asked for. I said to you guys before, I was like, hey, cops, stop shooting black people. Oh, I know. We'll make sure that Apu's not voiced by Hank Azaria, who's not black anymore. That's not what we asked for!
And when I went to get tickets for the new Indiana Jones, a hand came up, and it was like, there's tobacco use represented in this movie.
I'm 75 years young.
Yeah, right.
Even as you're getting older. So this is funny because when Lana used to work for me, I got you a cake that said happy 65th birthday.
Well, first I got him a cake that said happy birthday,
Nate.
And then he got me a cake that said happy 65th.
Lana. I still have those Dick Tracy things you gave me.
Yeah, I love them. They're great. I found these Dick Tracy party favors at this really gross antique store. It used to be down the street from me, which I miss. I love it. Because it just had weird, gross old antiques, and they were all like coated in silk.
That's pretty cool, actually. Last Starfighter activity book. I was just talking about this movie last night with somebody because we watched Fallon and I, we watched Halloween 2 in the hotel room while we were filming last week, and I was like, yeah, it's the guy from The Last Starfighter, and she'd never seen it, so I had to explain, like, literally scene for scene, like I hacked the movies did. I spent 2 hours explaining a movie that's an hour and 20 minutes long.
A couple of funny things about this is, number one, they really thought this was going to be a big hit. There's certain movies they thought were going to be big hits, like that and Dune, Neverending Story, and they weren't like big hits. And they have their following now, but back in the day, they were gearing up all this kids' merchandise. But what's funny is I'm flipping through it earlier, and I'm looking at the activities and all the questions and the quizzes, and I'm like, I can almost guarantee you that nowhere on this planet does one of these exist that anybody actually
filled out. Well, all right, this is a movie based on a video game that was actually good.
Right. Yeah. Dave said there might be one out there, like a kid like scribbled some crayon on like one page and like gave up on it.
Yeah,
fucking Last Star. I'm gonna go see Return of the Jedi again. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is actually really this is actually really cool.
Open up and look at some of the illustrations.
Okay.
You don't have to flip the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious how deep they got into it.
I really thought it was they had a thing.
Wow. It's your video game code.
It's 48 pages long too, which I think is excessive.
That kid has a fishbowl for a head.
There you go.
Oh wow, yeah, this is a bit excessive, right? They're like, we can smell that Star Wars money.
Yeah,
there's Admiral
like
Akbar. Yeah, you know, kinda. What is your dick shaped like? Why do you have lumps like that?
It's ribbed.
Yeah. Oh, there's a vampire apparently in it, and wow.
It's just.
I don't remember this movie. I know I've seen it, but
I do like that. That's pretty good. And then there's like a little group.
Is that a Zor, as I say?
Yeah, Zor Maze.
Kind of fake.
I like these guys.
Yeah. Especially
the little girl with like, you ever have friends who like have kids and the kid's like 2 and hasn't grown hair yet?
Yes. And you're like, does it have cancer?
Like, yeah. My friend Christy's kid is 2, and I'm like, why does your kid have the haircut of a recent divorcee? His face is like crooked.
Yeah.
I love these when they used to do these books though, and they used to have like somebody draw.
You get to dress them.
Oh man, that's the first thing I'm doing when I get home.
Control yourselves, ladies.
He's just like,
I died in Halloween too.
They had to draw like
off screen.
It's literally they had to draw him from memory.
Yeah.
And they had...
yeah. They're like, is that the guy who died in Halloween who slips on blood? You
yeah, and we never see him again.
You watch the alternative ending.
I like his kicky beret though. he's in Les Mis, and then they gave him glasses. He's like a fucking nerd friend.
You know, I want to see if there's any Enemy Mine merch.
Get the one pregnant, like.
Oh my.
There's a Barbie that actually has like it's
Well, somebody got this one.
yeah.
Look at that.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
solved
It's
that
been
one.
Oh,
spoiled.
somebody actually did it. So
Yeah,
somebody did
Yeah,
the
do
last
it.
Starfighter is
I
alive.
stand corrected.
There you go.
Wow.
I stand corrected.
Look at
But
that.
they didn't do anything else except that one thing.
No, because this was probably sitting in a doctor's office
Mm-hmm.
under a pile of highlights for kids. And once you're bored with Goofus and Gallant, you just turn to a random page.
I want a Goofus and Gallant movie.
There you go. But like a dark, gritty one.
I'd like to think that after they finished it, said the last Starfighter is alive. They're like, my God, and they slammed it, like ran out the door.
Oh no, look, they did. Oh no, this shows you how to do it. It's like the end of a
Oh, there's the this is the
I'm
teacher
gonna look
section
up.
with
I
the
wanna see if
answers.
there's like Space Hunter merchandise.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. You get to draw your own Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
And Ernie Hudson's in that movie too. Yeah.
See, there's like Dreamscape. Any there's like weird PG movies. I'm gonna go on a hunt.
Let's make a Gymkata coloring book. All right. Well, that had nothing to do with Five Nights at Freddy's, but the last 15 minutes are far more entertaining
Yeah.
than the 2 hours that we spent in that theater.
That's so true.
If you're a fan of this, good for you. You know, we got a good video game. We got the Super Mario Brothers
I'd be
movie.
willing to read one of the books just to see if there's something there.
No, I don't think there is. All they had was it's like the Rockafire explosion thing, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, wouldn't it have been cool if like they tried to reopen the place and like the deaths happen like for the people who are setting it up, and like
That would be
you have
neat.
somebody whose
Oh, that's
face
an
is like
idea.
burned by pizza and
Yeah.
stuff.
Or somebody finds a frozen pizza from the 80s and
Yeah.
they just cook it and they're like, fuck it, it tastes the same.
So it's like Wawa pizza.
Yeah.
I love these regional jokes that we make because there's people who watch this show who are from like Brazil and Australia, and they're like,
Wawa
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
I tried that. That is like what kind of cheese did they use?
Oh, you did try it.
Yeah, I
have
tried
not,
it.
I have not.
It's the cheese is not real cheese. It's
no.
like, what is that?
No, it was like, I don't know. They were like, oh, it's actually pretty good. And I was like, are you okay?
I got tricked. A coworker of mine said like, oh, it's really good. I'm like, all right, I'll try it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No.
goddamn, I could have bought pizza from it. Like, I live in the land of pizza.
Yeah. Is that the town you live in?
Yeah, I live
the
in
land of pizza.
Don't dox me, bro.
Right now off the Hershey Highway.
Yeah.
All right, Five Nights at Freddy's. If you don't know what this is, or if you did, you could skip it. Watch it on Hulu. Find those kids in the beginning of this review. Just go hang out with them. They'll probably be watching it all weekend. I remember like certain times we would rent videos and we would just watch them over and over. Like the weekend that Wayne's World came out, we watched it on video like 20 times. Like imagine now these type of movies. Like
Right.
I never need to see this movie again for the rest of my life.
Right. Like I liked, when you're talking about this,
Yeah.
I was thinking like I went to see Night of the Comet.
Mhm.
Night of the Comet.
Oh, it's
was
great.
fun, and I'm like, this is such a good fucking movie. But we didn't have the streaming, so we couldn't watch it over and over right away. But when it came to cable and video, I was constantly watching it.
Night of the Comet inspired me to bang in
That
projection
was good
booths.
shit. And that
Yeah.
had some scary scenes in it
Yeah.
for a PG-13 movie. There's some lady recently who was writing, she's like, I love this movie growing up, and now I think it's like sexist. I won't let my kids watch it. I'm like, Night of the Comet? Are you out of your fucking mind? Like everybody's lost their fucking mind.
Because everybody who was a teenager in that movie too was like 38 years
How
old.
is it sexist?
Barbara Crampton was
That's
like
the
30.
opposite of fucking
Yeah.
sexist, that movie.
They get together in a fucking a furniture store and bang and,
Yep.
and watch 50s B movies and then like they teenagers take over the thing and it's great.
And they got their dad trained them with like military
Yeah.
weapons.
Mary Warnoff is in it. She's great in everything.
But I'm just like, I'm glad I'm old and I'm on the way out.
Yeah.
I knew it earlier because everybody's lost their
We
fucking mind.
lived through a golden age and we didn't even know it.
Nope.
Yeah, we didn't appreciate.
It's like
what
if
we
you were
had.
in the glory days, but you didn't know you were in the glory days. Someone should really write a song about that.
Oh no!
With Springsteen.
Did you know that Bruce, because we were talking about Maximum Overdrive, that's who Stephen King was pushing to get to be Emilio Estevez's
Oh,
character,
wow.
Oh,
was
my
Bruce Springsteen.
God.
Imagine that.
How much coke was he on to think that
All of
something
it.
would happen?
All of the coke.
I assume this singer can act.
The dude,
I assume this writer can direct.
because I rewatched it the other night and I was like, I'm gonna do a review of this, and then I was reading facts about it. The cinematographer lost his eye while
shit.
making it because the scene with the lawnmower, apparently the remote control lawnmower ran over a piece of wood and the splinter like fucking zombie 2'd the dude dude.
Oh,
my
geez.
So he had to go back to
God.
Italy
Oh my god!
to like for the rest of his life because he was worried that they would never hire a
And then-
cinematographer without depth
And then
perception.
you see him laying on a table in the hospital, and they're putting in like a bionic eye.
Yeah.
They're like, we have the technology. We
No,
can rebuild
I've
it.
had an idea for years to make a movie called Glaucoma, and it's about a cop who loses his eyes in a drug fight and winds up getting gun eyes. So it's glaucoma.
Nice. That's a good one.
And when his wife leaves him, he cries out of the barrels.
I love that. And I want Newt to make a horror movie called Intimacy
Yes.
Coordinator about a guy who does that for movies, but he's like really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Rapist.
Because we had a situation with that last weekend of an actor who was being inappropriate, but my buddy works. Oh no, did it again. All right, we're gonna close this out soon. Buddy of mine
But
did
make that movie.
Yes, we will. A buddy of mine did a movie recently, and they have intimacy advisors on set if you have to do a sex scene or something like that. And the intimacy advisor lost his job for being inappropriate. And I was like, that's like if a fire truck catches on fire. All right, thank you guys for the gift. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna see Thanksgiving for sure.
Yeah, I want to see that. I'm
Yeah.
trying to see. They're gonna do Scarface in a few weeks.
And we
I'd
said
love to
let's
see
go in
that.
brownface.
Yes.
You know, because everyone is that is Italian
Let
and
me
they're
get
playing
the big
Cuban.
fro that the sister wears.
I think that will go over well if we
Oh,
show up in
sure.
brownface.
You got to be F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah. his face looks like a catcher's mitt. I'll be Tony. There's a picture of me as a little
Oh,
kid.
yeah. Mhm.
There's a picture of me as a little kid where I'm wearing a black suit jacket and a red button-up shirt, but it's all undone, and my hair is slicked to the one side. It's like 1983. I'm like, were my parents trying to make me look like Tony Montana? You know?
Maybe.
There you go. Here you go, son. Here's a pile of cocaine.
And Joey's got to be Manny.
First you get the money.
Then you get the power, then you get the women. And then like rail thin Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, fresh off of Grease 2, which we
Yes.
both talked about loving.
Yes, indeed.
All right, guys, that's it. Five Nights at Freddy's. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, hold on. I'm not done yet. I was thinking about this shit the entire drive home. So you're telling me that fucking Matthew Lillard, at one point in the 1980s, owned a successful arcade pizza place where he had sophisticated animatronics, and he was able to kidnap children and extract their ghosts, but really it wasn't their ghosts, it was their whole bodies that he put inside the monster machines, and it's rated R, yet at no point do we see them, which would have been fucking cool. So he had all this proprietary technology they talk about in the training video that the Bridge from Terabithia kid watches, and now he's working in a call center? Like, and his daughter's a cop, and is it like to keep the monsters from getting out? Or is it to keep them fed or make new ones? Like, at no point did they ever go like, oh yeah, when he was working on his animatronics and they didn't work, he turned to black magic. That would have been way more fucking interesting than nothing. The Chuck E. Cheese guy isn't fucking working in a toll booth now. This movie sucked.